What's up, Broncos country? Welcome in to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and I'm coming to you on my day off to deliver you some Broncos joint practice news with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm on my day off, like I said, enjoyed a little bit of R&R this morning, had a cup of coffee, got to sit around, do a little lazy stuff, but of course, as soon as Broncos and Cardinals kicked off with their joint practice, you know I had to be all in and locked in for a video. So it is officially over now. We have some major takeaways. The first thing that I'm going to ask you to do, though, is if you believe the Denver Broncos are going to beat the Arizona Cardinals, and by the way, Sean Payton came out today and said that the starters will not play against the Cardinals, and neither will the Cardinals starters play at all. So it's going to be second and third stringers from here on out. But if you believe the Denver Broncos are going to win on Saturday, get those DENs going in the chat below. I want to see as many as possible. So here's what we're going to start with. The obvious and the title of today's video, Bo Nix firing back. He had an unbelievable day, probably the best of this preseason. So we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about the rest of the offense. Then we're going to talk about the defense and then some injury concerns as well to wrap up today's video. So let's start, of course, with QB1. The one thing that I will note, not only from Broncos reporters, Cardinals reporters, and Cardinals players are all echoing the same thing today. He was outstanding, highlighted by a 70-yard touchdown to Devon Vele. He had another one inside the red zone to Courtland Sutton, and then another one, believe it or not, to Evan Ingram that got called back because Evan Ingram committed offensive pass interference. So Bo Nix was firing on all cylinders today. He took the check down when he needed to take the check down, which shows elite mental processing and an ability to not hold the ball for very long, to get it out quick and make sure that you sustain long drives, which was great. He showcased his arm talent, made plays outside of the pocket when he was flushed out. And even one Cardinals player said he was making no-look passes in warmups. So they were clearly impressed with Bo Nix. And the one thing that I do want to highlight that I think is so great to see is that despite a slow start against the San Francisco 49ers, and despite a slow practice earlier on this week, Bo Nix holds himself accountable, adjusts the part of his game that needs to be adjusted, and then corrects it and goes out and doesn't let those bad plays, those bad moments, define him for the next opportunity, where he clearly succeeded today. I mean, even at the end of the game, Broncos down three if you want to call it that, because it's joint practice. They're not necessarily keeping score, but they're down 3. Bo Nix has one last drive to make, pushes the Broncos all the way down the field into field goal range where they kick a game-tying field goal. So, again, kind of ends in a tie, if you will. But Bo definitely showcased his ability today. So all of the people that were concerned about Bo's, poor performance or the Broncos' first-string offense having a poor performance, clearly today against the Cardinals' first-string defense, he lit it up. So, like I said, there was no cause for panic. Let's go on to some other offensive news. The run game started a little bit slower than originally anticipated. The first drive, the Cardinals defense got the best of the Broncos run game, a couple of TFLs, but then things got back to normal throughout the practice, especially, again, the depth. R.J. Harvey, Tyler Bidet, Blake Watson, and Jaleel McLaughlin, even J.K. Dobbins today had a couple of really, really nice plays. And then the Broncos wide receiver room, where Sean Payton said at the podium today how much he loves the depth at wide receiver right now. The receivers seem to be firing on all cylinders as well. Big plays from Devon Vele today. Marvin Mims had a couple of really nice plays. He had a great day. Troy Franklin, of course, every single practice now is being mentioned. Courtland Sutton doing his thing day in and day out. So I'm really excited right now to kind of see where and who that next connection with Bo will be as they get into week 1 of the regular season. Obviously, like I said earlier in today's video, the starters will not play against the Cardinals. But they will play a couple of drives against the Saints, just a couple, it's like a week later, I think is what it is. So a lot of good stuff coming your way from Broncos starters and more Broncos football. Let's move on to the defense. The defense, according to Sean Payton, and for everything that I saw and everything that I read, started a little bit slower today, but then picked it back up right where they left off. Jaquan McMillan made another pick off of Kyler Murray. So I got to tip my cap to Jaquan McMillan. Ever since that first drive against the San Francisco 49ers, where he kind of had a bad drive, kind of got dusted a little bit, he has been outstanding. A pick on the San Francisco 49ers quarterback, that third string guy. He picked off Bo Nix a couple of times in practice, and then today on Kyler Murray. He just seems to be finding the ball. So I got to tip my cap to Jaquan McMillan, who has been playing really, really well the last 4 or 5 days. The Broncos pass rush was pretty good. Kyler Murray is a unique player, really small, but he thrives in moving outside of the pocket. His lateral quickness is probably among quarterbacks in the best of the NFL. There's a reason he was a number 1 overall pick. So guarding and playing against Kyler Murray can bring its own challenges. So the Broncos defense a little bit slower. Sean Payton met with all of the coaches, the defensive staff with Vance Joseph, and kind of addressed all of the issues that they had there. I also do want to mention a couple of, injury things that I think we need to talk about. Garett, Bolles. There was a lot of panic around a couple of earlier reports from Mike Kliss and Zach Stevens where Garett Bolles was taken off the field, believe it or not, and kind of evaluated by trainers and then put in an ambulance. I know, we don't like to hear that. But then the good news was that took off his own pads, walked into the Broncos facility of his own power and accord. And then Sean Payton was asked, of course, about it at the podium, and he said, yeah, it was like an asthma issue. So he's just fine. So the Broncos, of course, can wipe that bead of sweat dripping down the forehead there as well. But Matt Parrott did get in for him as well. So I think that's another guy that you could be looking as a nice rotational left tackle and rotational offensive lineman this year as well. A couple of other major injury news, and I'm going to go to my phone for this one. I have stuff written down. Apologies, I don't have the graphics that I usually have at my display at the Chat Sports office. So appreciate your guys' patience here. It looks like Nick Bonitto had a bone spur in his foot. This is coming from Zach Stevens, of course, as well. A couple of procedures to get some stitches that take care of it. But Sean Payton again saying he'll be back this week. Remember, he was saying, we'll expect him to be back at practice. Well, 3rd day in a row not practicing. And now we know what officially the issue was, a little bone spur in his foot. But nothing to be too upset about or, concerned about. Couple other things here that I think, we need to note. Nate Adkins has an ankle sprain. He's going to miss an early portion of the regular season, so he'll be out for an extended period of time as well. That's not great news, but again, this stuff happens. It's football, right? Like, we have to roll with the punches. It's got to be a next man up mentality. But Sean Payton has also been the one that is preaching the depth that the Broncos currently have. The one thing that I do want to note, going back to the offense here real quick, is I would like to see, at least against the Saints, because I know the starters aren't going to play on Saturday, but Evan Ingram getting a little bit more involved. Caught that touchdown today, but negated by a pass interference call. I really want to see that relationship start to flourish between him and Bo Nix. That's going to be crucial for Bo Nix this year. But, a couple of quiet practices from Evan Ingram, whereas at the beginning of training camp, he was hot. Like, he started off really, really hot. But today was all about Devon Vele, Courtland Sutton, Marvin Mims, and, of course, Bo Nix. A couple of other minor takeaways here that I just wanted to kind of touch on real fast. Excuse me, and my phone is being all wonky, and I'm also in a new setup here in the kitchen. Sean Payton discussed the possibility of keeping 4 running backs on the roster. So that kind of looks like what it's going to be. So I know we kind of discussed maybe keeping 5. But when he said he's open to the possibility of keeping 4, that's probably the wheelhouse that we're going to be looking in right now. So obviously, you've got J.K. Dobbins. Obviously, you've got R.J. Harvey. The next question is it going to be a combination of Blake Watson and Tyler Bidet? Is it going to be a combination of Tyler Bidet and Jaleel McLaughlin? Is it going to be a combination of Jaleel McLaughlin and Audric Estime? That is the main question on everybody's mind right now. Obviously, we'll need to see a little bit more throughout the next preseason game, because I'm sure we're going to see a variety of different running back looks from guys like Blake Watson, Tyler Bidet, Audric Estime, and Jaleel. And then, of course, as roster cutdowns get even closer, which I believe are August 26th, that's going to be the most telling thing as those reports come out throughout that week. All right, just a quick little update for you about everything that went on. Bo Nix back at it. I wasn't concerned about it whatsoever. QB1 is just fine. So remember, we are going to be live against the Cardinals. We will be going live. That's a 7:30 Mountain Time kickoff, which means we'll be live at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time for our tailgate party. If you want to pull up and rock out with Broncos country and other like-minded Broncos fans, we are going to be ready to rock and roll. So a reminder, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like today's video, and as always, Broncos country, be cool.